Welcome to the Sanctum, everyone. This is AL. So today we're going to review the Divine Feminine Oracle. This is by Meggan Watterson. The artwork is done by Lizbeth Cheever-Gessaman. Now, a friend of mine had actually recommended this deck to me, and I had seen some of the work done by others who had this deck, and I was kind of curious about it because I have seen a couple of reviews about this deck and they seem to be pretty happy with it. And by the way, really sturdy box, and they've learned to make them slide better, which is nice. The book, it is by Hay House, just so you know. The nice thing about this is it is a thick book. They managed to pack a lot into these little itty bitty books now. I love it. I love this because it's portable and you can just take it to read if you want to. If you don't want to take your book one day, take your cards with you. And it goes into why each card meets you eye to eye. She doesn't tell you how to use the oracle, but she does give you ideas. And then she goes into each oracle, gives you who she is, their information of what is on the card, when your soul selects their card, the meditation and intention. So there's a lot about the different people that are in here, and the pictures are black and white, it's common in most of the Hay House books. So I wanted to go through and showcase some of these. Fatima, and they're all done with this kind of a overlay style, which I really kind of like. I noticed it in the Workers of the Light, or Work Your Light one. My Bago, Yamaya, Kuan Yin, Saint Brigid. It's probably the only one that I would take issue with because Brigid is actually a Celtic goddess, not a saint, a patron saint. They patron sainted her to bring her into the Catholic Church. Mirabai, because I happen to be a druid, I happen to be a little bit more familiar with that. Saraswati, Khadija, and I know I'm not pronouncing some of these names right, but I'm trying my very best based on how I've been told to pronounce some of these names, so I'm trying. And if I am mixing, if I'm saying some of these Chinese names wrong, please feel free to correct me. Zhu Xiaoxing, the White Buffalo Calf Woman, Hestia, Reed of Cassia, Margarita Porret, the Cosmic Egg, Mary Magdalene, Sarah Dave, Thekla, Rodney, Diana, who in Greek is Artemis, Mary of Nazareth, Geshe Sogo, Mashingla Brahm, Daikini, Lakshmi, Miyashin. Now, there's more, and like they have Isis, Catherine Labor, Perpetua, Shekinah, Kali, Lala. There's regular Brigid versus Saint Brigid. Freya. And it's interesting to note that this is more of a Christian-oriented deck in some ways, and then in other ways it's kind of balanced out with a more pagan orientation, like Sekhmet, the Red Lady. And there's a lot more when it comes to the Eastern traditions. There's even Lilith, which I think is pretty interesting. Not a lot of other people have included her. Vajra Yogini, which there is a meditation dedicated to her. That, if I remember correctly, the Vajra, that I actually enjoy listening to a lot. So, yeah. The weird things that you remember and think and come up with when you start seeing some of these cards. Now the cards are actually they're matte finish, which I kind of like. It helps stick out the cards a little bit better. So they actually stand out a little bit easier for you. It's not as much reflection. The cards themselves are actually kind of thick. So for those that riffle shuffle, it is a riffle shuffle dream. Just saying. So I will admit that like for riffle shuffling, I'm in the heavenly. So when I originally got the deck, I looked at the cards that night. I've had this deck about 2 days. I let my desk mate look at the cards and play with them for the day. Asked her what she thought about them. She's like, I like these. I like these a lot. She actually enjoyed the way that the cards together combine into a thought process for her to really look at herself emotionally, and in some ways look at the way that her thought processes were, the way she felt about herself. And one of the things they talk about in the book, and it's a small thing, is the fact of, and because she doesn't give you, because Meggan doesn't give you this, she doesn't give you this, hi, this is the way you do these readings. But this is, her biggest thing is when you do it, think about that it's an invitation, that you're inviting to get to know these ladies, that you are, that your soul lives in Kairos, soul time, divine time. The soul doesn't give a hot damn when we do what we've come here to do, or what exactly it is we do. The soul cares infinitely, though, about the energy in which we do everything. The frequency of love is what transforms, and this is the soul's only concern. And so that's what the interesting things about this deck is, that it's all about caring for your deepest needs. And sometimes when we talk about doing soul work, we talk about the darker part of ourselves. We talk about shadow working. We talk about balancing what triggers us. But we don't always think about the fact that maybe we're not doing enough care for others or for ourselves. And it's not really that's a shadow thing as much as it's a we don't know how to do thing. And it is part of our soul work, because all shadow work is part of our soul. And soul work encompasses so much more than just our shadow. It also includes our light side. And in some ways, this deck is perfect for that aspect. In fact, this is something that I'll be offering with my readings. I'll be offering soul work, a soul work reading that includes multiple decks, specifically to work with both soul work as well as other aspects. So our reading today is going to be, what in our soul do we need to look to? What do we need to work with and for? What have we been ignoring? So, and we're going to do a few cards and get an idea of what we're going to be looking at. Okay? Yeah, you know, when you pull the cosmic egg, it's basically you're being told that you gotta brush up. You've been ignoring yourself so much. So, the cosmic egg is all about the divine feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the face of an ever-expanding love. It's about making time for you. It's about making time to encompass the idea of you need to do you. Who are you? What are you? What do you want to become? What have you become? Have you been taking you time? And I don't mean me time where you go spend money. I don't mean me time when you're running off doing stuff and not doing what you need to do fully. Because sometimes me time is going off and taking care of business. That's me time. Me time is cleaning the house. Me time is, taking care of and phone banking. Me time is taking care of my dog. Me time is taking care of the kids, cleaning the house, dancing to music while goofing off and talking to friends on the phone, Skyping. Sometimes me time isn't running out and being alone because you want to avoid what is. Sometimes it's about growing in the idea of being comfortable that you've got shit to do. Because sometimes I've seen people who've taken me time and taken it from a me time of a couple of hours and have expanded it to a few days, a couple of days, and then wonder why people get pissy at them. And it's because of the fact that now they've avoided doing what they needed to do. And I'll be honest with you, well, you kind of deserved it. You've been basically avoiding everything you said you were going to still do. What did you expect? Did you expect them to be happy with it? I mean, come on, let's be real. Cosmic egg. Just telling you the truth here. Freya, goddess of discernment. Her card is that I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it is a holy hell yes. So, Freya is telling you, so, when I committed myself to doing this thing, was I saying that I would do it? Why did I say it? Because I knew I had the time, opportunity, and it wasn't going to interfere with everything else that I have to do? Or did I do it because I was running away from shit I have to do? Did I do this with discernment? Because some people, like I said before, weren't looking at things truthfully, honestly. They were running away from other shit at home. So, and then they're wondering why their shit at home's going bad because, well, they haven't been making the time to get that other stuff in order. They weren't making time to make peace. So, yeah, reality check. Get your shit in order before you say hello yes. Joan of Arc, warrior of light. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. So, one thing about Joan of Arc is she was a young girl when she fought for France. She thought she heard the voice of God, heard angels. She was solid in her faith from beginning to end. She never broke, regardless of what you read otherwise. Her faith is what sustained her. Got her called a witch. And got her killed. And she did not mind dying for her faith. So, what do you believe in? Is your faith in yourself strong? Is your faith in yourself like a sword? Is it steel? Can it stand up and protect you? And I mean protect you in the sense that it's not there to hurt others, but to defend you. It's not there to wield against others as a, you're wrong and I'm right. No, that's not what we're talking about. This isn't about a holy war. This is about what we're talking about is a holy ability to encompass your faith that keeps you strong when everything makes it feel like you should doubt your faith in yourself, faith in who you are, faith in what you are. Is your faith in yourself as strong as it needs to be? Are you discerning everything you need to do to keep that faith strong? Are you expanding your wisdom in yourself? Growing so your strength is growing with you. So your belief in yourself and your abilities are growing on pace to keep you going and now and in the coming months to go. Faith in yourself is going to be tested like nobody else's business. For some of you, it's going to be a test of actual faith. For some of you, it's going to be a test of, well, who do you think you are? Well, I think I'm a person who has X, Y, and Z. I think I'm a person that has not only X, Y, and Z, but I can prove A, B, C, D, and E. Questions? Are you ready to be your own Joan of Arc? If not, why aren't you? Sarada Deve, the Divine Mother. Unconditional love exists within me. The presence of love is the absence of judgment. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We all judge. Okay? Judging is part of who and what we are. I wish we wouldn't. I wish we didn't. But we do, because we're assholes. Okay? I'm just going to tell you this straight out. Sometimes our judgment's on par, though. Sometimes we instantly know somebody's an asshole when we first meet them. Some of us have highly refined instincts that say, no. And that's how come some of us survive serial killers. Sometimes that's how some of us survive people that could destroy us, like abusers. Now, judging people in that manner is not the same as judging people when they misbehave and knowing when to forgive them. Some people have a very hard time forgiving anybody. Hi, Leslie. Hi, puppy. One thing you probably noticed is that you also have a better view of Puppy Dog. Yes. He likes this part because now he can run closer to the camera and be seen more. Ain't that right, puppy? Go eat your food. Thank you. Go eat. No, I'm gonna go sit right here, mommy, and be a brat and basically try to kill myself. Fine. So, and when they talk about the Divine Mother, they're talking about unconditional love. Now, my best friends, my family, my soul tribe knows that I love them and would do pretty much anything I possibly could for them. And in fact, some of them know that I pretty much have done stuff for them. I've done things that I don't do for other people. Some of them have told me not to do stuff for them, and then they find out that I have, and then they get cranky, and I go, yeah, whatever, drive through. It's just the way I am. But it's because I care for them. It's because that, with that mothering instinct, with the idea of that I want my soul family, my soul tribe, my family period to be taken care of, I need them to be okay, to be whole. I want them to be safe. Do I judge people in the sense of, are they going to be good for my family? Oh yeah. I worry. Oh, I'm dating. What are they like? How are you going to bring them to meet us? Oh yeah, when my nephew started dating, I was like, have we met the girl? Are we going to meet the girl? It was my poor nephew. I feel so bad for him because he has not only his mother to deal with the dates, he has me. and I'm almost worse than his mom because I'm like, do we like her? Is she good? You realize that if she hurts you, that we reserve the right to take her out. And he's like, you can't take her out. Yes, she hurt my nephew. He's like, oh my God, you're worse than mom. It's like, yeah. You know I'm not going to do that. I just want you to know that I don't tolerate people hurting my nephew. And he's like, I know you love me. It's all good. It's like, okay, as long as you understand, I'm protective. And he's like, oh no, we knew this. So it's that kind of thing. My family knows that I am a protective person. My nephew also knew when the Parkland shootings happened. He texted me and he told me that if it happened at his school, that he would probably be the one dead because his mom and I had taught him to think of others and help those less fortunate first, those who needed the help physically, that had disabilities, whether they're in a wheelchair, crutches, or handicapped in some way. His school is a diversity school, which is awesome. They are an academy that has some of the best. So they have some kids there that have some special needs, but they are some of the smartest kids you'll ever meet. Special needs in that school is not what you think it would be. They may be special needs because they may have to take a little bit more time to be taught certain things, but they rock out when it comes to their knowledge base. They are unparalleled to pretty much anything else you can think of. And my nephew, because he's 6'4", almost 6'5" now, and he's 16 and a wrestler, knows that he would do everything to get others out, and he knows because that is built into who and what he is as a person, would get others out and know that he would probably be the one taking bullets to get those others out. And to know that I took that text that day, it hurt like nobody else's business, and I still haven't forgotten it. And that's part of being and giving unconditional love, is knowing that I would not be upset or mad that those other kids lived for him, because he saved them. Although technically, there's a part of me that was like, can't you just save like one or two and then get yourself out? Because it's not my nephew. It's not what we taught him. That's where the divine motherhood comes in. You're looking for something more. Be that person that doesn't judge just on the basis of what you see, but deeper. Know that there's more to judge in life, and to be judged yourself. Do you want them to be do you want yourself to be judged just on stuff that's ridiculous? Lilith, the first woman. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life that I desire to live. Lilith gets a bad rap. She's considered a demon by a lot of scholars now. Possibly with good reason, possibly not. But as the first woman, as who she was, especially when you look at archaeology nowadays and you find out that there was when you realize that there was a Semitic goddess at the same time there was a Semitic god in the region, thousands and thousands of years before, possibly Lilith, the first woman. You look at that concept and look at the idea of being the voice of the body and soul. Are you embracing that voice of body and soul? Are you embracing the thought that of giving voice to the voiceless, for those who are lesser? Are you being the not say the giver of life, but are you being the person showing that you're living the life that is worth living? If somebody saw you and they said, so-and-so is living the life that they said they would always lead, are they talking about you? Or are they talking about somebody else? Because they sure as hell should be speaking about you. If they're not, then you need to think about that. It's important. Live the life of love and joy that you are meant and you want to live. If you're not doing that, you need to work toward it, because otherwise, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? Because if you're hurting yourself, then you're not doing nobody any bit of good. Work for peace and love. Last one. Rabia, the queen of saintly women. I am in service of divine love. I move the way love love asks me to move. So one thing here is about the fact is divine love, whether you consider it heavenly, God's inspired, will give you direction occasionally. Sometimes they boss you around. Depends on their moment. Sometimes they'll inspire you to move in certain ways, to help others, to be the guiding light. Are you participating in that light? Are you being the light that shines through? If you're being that light, if you're being the light that goes forward and gives truth, that gives this service to love, gives the service to living the life that you should be living, that doesn't judge just to judge, but judges based on love, based on your strength, based on the fact that you're being discerning, based on the fact that you're growing and learning, then you're doing all the right things for yourself. So you can see how each woman builds upon the other in giving you the whole. So all starting from the divine cosmic egg on through. And that's one of the things about this reading, about this deck, is that each time you pick a card, as simple as pulling it, Edheduana, the high priest, I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. So, are you a legacy of love? What kind of love? Eros. Are you a legacy of love? Agape. Are you a legacy of love? The brotherhood of love? Fritos. What love are you part of? And that's what this card deck is about. It's about giving love, giving hope, giving joy, growing your heart and soul within itself. So hopefully you like this deck. I give this deck definitely a 5.5 out of 7 chakras. It is definitely worth having, especially if you're using it for soul work, if you're working with a lot of females, especially when it comes to things like working on confidence building, working on loving relationships, working on developing their feelings, on balancing. It's even great with men who need to get in touch with that other side of them. So I would definitely recommend it. Again, it's the Divine Feminine Oracle by Meggan Watterson. And until next time, my peoples, been with you.